What up? What up? What up? What is going on, everyone? Happy New Comic Book Day. Happy Whiplash Wednesday. Guys, it's like Christmas every single week for us comic book fans. How are you doing? How's it going? How are my awesome panelists here? Starting with the big man Phable. What's going on, man? How you doing?
Oh, chilling, man. Today I had a half a day, so I didn't have to work all day. Came home, picked up some books, put those away, took care of the family, and now I'm here with my brothers discussing this awesome show.
Nice, nice. And my man Steph, how you doing, brother?
I'm good, good.
Brother,
It's
brother, brother.
Wednesday, like you said, Christmas every week.
Christmas.
My son actually is taking a nap. It's kind of late, but it kind of works out good. So,
Oh, there you go. Nice. Well, son's taking them back. Let's not be too loud. Well, Shh. Yo, how's it going, everyone? Like I said, happy new comic book day, and and whenever you get your comic books, happy new comic book day. Another awesome. Let's talk about it. Remastered today. We're doing Battlestar Galactica. It's pretty much the main part of the show today. We don't have any extra segments. I don't have any show and tell today, so no show and tell. Wah, wah. But that'll be back soon. So it's just a Battlestar and plus us hanging out a little bit and stuff like that. We're going over episodes 9 and episodes 10 of Battlestar Galactica already, guys. Already. You know what I'm saying? And then next
blowing
week,
through it.
we're gonna do episode 11, 12, and 13. So we're gonna finish out the season next week. The first season finish up already, guys. Can you guys believe it? I can't believe it. I'm still like, like I remember first
I
starting this.
know. It's crazy. We're almost done with the first season.
Blew through it.
We were right through it, right through it. So real quick. We're gonna go through the lineup, what happened today, and then we'll go to the chats. Uh what happened today? Whiplash Wednesday, you guys know, PCP Army Bad Batch. We do shows throughout the day, and of course, Manny's different perspective. You know what I'm saying? Reviewing the Horus, a John Constantine classic, which I gotta admit I haven't seen yet, but I'm definitely gonna watch that on the rewind. Um, Always Manny puts up some fantastic videos, the way he puts it together and everything like that. I totally
Really,
appreciate it. You guys didn't get a chance to see it, did you?
not yet,
No.
not yet.
Yeah, but Constantine, like I think it's an interesting character, and I dug the show. I didn't watch the whole show, but I dug the movie. So do you guys ever watch the shows or the movies?
Yeah, I watched the I think I watched the show a little bit. It had the guy with like the blondish hair, right? And the trench
Yeah,
coat.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Which I
yeah,
think
yeah.
is a cool Constantine. I think he's Constantine. You
Yeah,
know what I
He's
I
mean?
like
good.
him.
He's spot on.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Steph,
Uh,
you've seen him?
yeah, I seen the movie and the one you talking about, the one with Keanu Reeves, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
A long
That I
time
seen
ago.
that a long time ago.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna have
but
to
that one was
rewatch that one day.
it's solid for what it is. It's not
Yeah,
the to the T, but it was cool. But yeah, the dude who played in the show, I think the show unfortunately was just on the wrong network on NBC of all places. Like,
yeah.
why not on CW or Sci-Fi? Something like that. But it was solid. It was cool to see him on the Legends of Tomorrow when the
Right.
show got
Yeah,
canceled.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah. When I popped when I saw it, I was like, yeah, because Legend Tomorrow is a pretty good show. Like I
yeah,
like the people like slept on that one, but
yeah. Hell
he was
yeah,
great on that. Hell yeah.
heck
You
yeah.
think he's gonna be in the next movie or something like that? I heard there was rumbling that he might be the Constantine in the movies too. I mean, should be
I
cool.
could see them giving him a fair shake at like a solo movie, like a
Flashpoint,
HBO.
maybe make a appearance in Flashpoint with the
Yeah,
Huntress or something like that, or
yeah, that'd be cool.
that Kitana. What's her name?
Oh, Zatanna.
Zatanna, there you go. Katana, like that's Marvel. But but yeah, so Manny, I'm sure that was a great show. I can't wait to go. And then of course, keep on keeping on. We always new comic book day, always from the cadets with our guy Nick Comic Culture. Always putting out a great video of all comics that came out today. If you're confused of anything and wonder what came out, boom, check that one out. You know what I'm saying? Always a fantastic video he put together. And then keep on keeping on. Comic TM Nerdy with the chatting with the comic community. He's got Phil up in there. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
Another awesome video in the community. Already 44 of them. Keep on keeping on with that one and keep on keeping on, like I always say. My man, yo, new comic book day haul for Nick. These are the books you're gonna see him do. The Nick at Night was always a fantastic review show. I always look forward to it. Nick at Night in the weekend, guys, check that out. And then before us, we have a bridge. Before us, our guy, Rockin' Robbie. Comics and karaoke. He kind of like want to leave the whole part out of it. Comics and karaoke, which he had. I actually saw the entire show this time from the beginning to end, and he always puts on a great show. Solid haul. It was a little bit less than what he usually shows you, but it's still a solid haul. Great showing, Robbie. What happened?
What was that one song you requested, Phable?
Oh man, Walk Like an Egyptian.
I feel, if he's not done that yet, come on now.
Robbie, they're calling you out, bro. Let it known, our guy, the bridge to our show, the pre-show or whatever, you know what I'm saying, doing his whole videos. We appreciate he is part of Whiplash Wednesday, Rockin' Robbie doing his thing with us and all that. And so we appreciate you being a part of Whiplash Wednesday, of course. And of course, we got us, you know what I'm saying? Us. Let's plug ourselves on our own show. Let's talk about it, Remastered, you know what I'm saying? So let's go to the chats real quick. See who's up in here. We got TM Nerdy Station. Good evening. Of course, we were just talking about it. Papa Boom. Pop Philosophers up in there. We got our guy, the Comickings Station, always doing fantastic shows. He wasn't able to do one today, but he'll be back, guys. He'll be back on Whiplash Wednesday. He had a fantastic show with Bryce all the time on Monday nights, prime time. Always putting out a great show. I like the books that I read. I listen, and then the ones that I didn't read, I put it mute. You know what I mean? Then I will listen to it later. But always fantastic. Those two guys are awesome. Great young guys in the community. Makes me feel good that the community is in their hands for the future. So station to you guys. You know what I mean? Like, might be young, but they're way ahead of their game and stuff like that. So station, man, station. And then the creative director of the PCP Army Bad Batch, station. You know what I mean? Backlog Bros. What is that? I still don't know. Who else is up in here? We got Eric the Stash. Eric the Stash was with us last Sunday on the hashtag Blame Phable Tonight show. With Stef and myself. And he put on a great show. We were glad to see him on there. Guys, watch that on the rewind on Fable's One Collection Down channel on the Instagram, not on the YouTubes. Great show, you know what I'm saying? So had a lot of fun. We did twins, you know what I'm saying? Because they look alike, so we had to do it. You know, like us, we all look alike. You know what I'm saying? We're twins. You know what I mean? So Eric, great job, and John Travis. I couldn't do that much in the weekend, but it's back. It's back. You know what I'm saying? You know, I hit little like, two teeth pulled during the weekend. It wasn't really cool, so I had to talk like this a little bit. Hey, what's up, guys? You know what I'm saying on Sunday, but. I don't know how I pulled through that one, but I got through it, right, guys? Brother Joe, the American hero. Brother Joe was there. Brother Joe, what's going on? Sister Joe, what's going on? Always say hi to all of you guys. Everybody gets more and more creepy on Battlestar. Oh yeah, Battlestar. We're gonna talk. Chamorro Cinema is. Wait, what happened to Manny's different perspective? Chamorro Cinema's back.
Station.
March 11th. Our guy's gonna be there. You know what I'm saying? I don't think I have the thumbnail on here, but Manny do a nice thumbnail version of the YouTube so I can put it on here so I can promote it. He's gonna be back. And he's gonna have a sit down roundtable with Ron V. So and a couple other creators, but
Wow.
you hear Ron V, it's like,
Nice.
oh, nice. He got in some Ron V and all that. Ron V, everybody
Oh
knows
yeah.
Swamp Thing. Nobody read Swamp Thing until he wrote it. Now, like
Facts.
people gonna read Aquaman now. Nobody reading Aquaman, so
Right.
he's gonna read it, regardless if you think it's good or not. You know what I'm saying? Let's admit, like Swamp Thing, not many people read it unless you're a diehard comic book fan. Same thing with Aquaman. He's gonna make both of them cool. So I'm gonna end up getting Aquaman all the time now, cause of Ron V. There you go. I hope Robbie's proud of me. I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna get
Is
him.
Robbie gonna be on that show as well?
Yeah, right. He is
Nice.
gonna be on that show. Yeah, I
Hell
don't
yeah.
know how Manny did it, but he was able to get Robbie up in there. You know what I'm saying? That's the hard one. Everybody thinks Ryan B is the hard one. Get Robbie in there at 12 o'clock.
Station.
Station to that. Bobby Hardcore Station. What is going on, Bobby? Hope you're having a fantastic day, which he did. He kind of showed me his haul today. Like, thank you, Bobby. That was a great haul. You and Brother Joe. Always appreciate. They gave us our own special haul show. So shh, I'm not supposed to talk about that. So there you go. That's everybody. I think I got everybody in the chat. I hope everybody, of course, if you like the video, hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, ding 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 that bell for notification for future videos so you can see us handsome devils, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And everybody in the PCP Army Bad Batch, the links are in down below. Station to your thank you for being on here. Guys, without further ado, Battlestar Galactica. Episodes 9 and 10. We're gonna go through it. First, I need a Pepsi. I've been talking a lot.
Oh, Pepsi.
Pepsi. Wait, you have anything else you want to talk about? Any news or something that just popped up? Or you want to get going with the Battlestar?
Oh yeah, we could kick it off. We get right into
Yeah.
it.
Right into Battlestar Galactica. So I'll start off the show since last week I kind of took a vacation because Fable's killing it for us, you know what I'm saying? Stepped
He's
up
like,
to the game.
Herm, Steph, I got you.
Yeah, totally appreciate you, man. This one's called Tough Me Up, Tuck Me Down. Like, did I say it right? Like, I keep saying his name kind of weird.
Tie
Like,
me
Tie
up,
me
tie
up.
me down.
tie me
Tie
up.
me
Damn
down.
it, messed it up again. Damn it,
I always get him
Jack.
confused with. I call him Tyrell half the time. I get him
Yeah,
confused with. So
So tie me up, tie me down.
yeah,
right.
So originally, this episode was called Secrets and Lies, but they changed it
Hmm.
up to that.
Okay.
So yeah.
that
Yeah.
is very interesting. Foreshadowing.
I try to do a little bit of research, a little
I
bit,
like that.
you know what I'm saying. And then this one, Edward James Amos, the who portrayed Commander Adama,
Yes.
he directed this episode.
No
So
way.
Wow.
yeah. Look at me,
I
man.
yeah, I was gonna say, bro, you're up here. We've seen the show. We're up here like,
Yeah, I
yo,
had
I
to
didn't know
step
he
up my
started
game a
direct,
little bit. What happened?
bro. Yeah, I didn't know he started. I knew he ended up directing, but I didn't know it was like he was hands on season one. Like that just
There
blew
you
my
go.
mind.
There you go. I didn't know that neither until I started researching. It was like, oh snap, he did this one too. Like,
That's dope.
yeah.
That's
So
interesting.
yeah, man. So talking about him, this episode starts with them in the battle room and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Um, Adama, Cylons and all that. The president was in the thing and everything. I might as well. Where is it? I know I had that. I didn't have many pictures. See, I'm having. We got her, but the picture that I
Sorry,
wanted
Steph.
to show didn't upload for me. But you guys already know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? You got the president and all that. All of a sudden, you see, if I miss anything, I got my hero Fable to let me know, or Steph to let me know of what I missed. But you got like they're suspecting the episode before, they're kind of suspicious on the commander and stuff like that. Adama, you know what I mean? Is he a Cylon or not, or stuff like that? So you see, like, the president looking at him kind of funny, and that's how
Yeah.
this episode start. Then you see all of a sudden you see one of the vipers, right? I keep forgetting. It's the viper, the Cylon, or the viper. Um, the Cylon ship. It's the Viper. I
It's
keep
a
forgetting.
Raider.
Oh, the
The
Raider. It's
Raider,
a
yeah, I was
Raider.
gonna say,
Thank you.
and
Cylon
the
Raider.
good guys
Yeah.
are
One day
Vipers.
I will get that right.
No, that's right. Hey,
Yeah, yeah. So you're right. So a Raider pops up out of nowhere, but he's playing. And the Raider's playing games with them. He just so they're like, ah! So they're trying to figure out what this thing is and all that. They're playing games with them. So they're thinking, the other guy, Ty, you know what I'm saying? He keeps thinking, oh, that means there's something wrong with it. You know what I mean? Maybe it can't go back to wherever it's going. So we're like, oh,
start.
so I'm already thinking it's a little fishy. You know what I mean? But this thing is playing games. It will disappear, come back, disappear, come back. So that's happening, and of course, uh, Abdama, like, after that finishes, goes to the president. They start talking. And she's kind of like, giving him questions and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And they talk about the testing. Are you getting? We need to get tested or stuff like that. You know what I mean? And then she starts asking him, who should start getting tested? And he tells him, you should be the first one. And he
Right.
starts laughing. Me? Maybe you should be the first one, kind of thing. And then she's like, no, you should. So they start going back and forth, and he eventually goes, fine, I'll test myself. You know what I mean? So, because, she was told he was a Cylon, so this is in her head, which is in
Right.
my head too. So I'm like, no, he can't be a Cylon. No. Like, I'm still, like, in suspense to see if this man really is a Cylon now. It's like, it can't be true. It can't be true. So all that's happening, you know what I'm saying? I went over the Cylon. Bear with me. My notes are all over the place for this. um,
Well, they have a scene even before the Cylon Raider appeared, where Duala and Billy are like comfy and cozy. I don't know what ship they're on. I don't know if they're on Galactica or anything, but they're, obviously they're more closer now because we found out that, they started kind of seeing each other. So now they're looks like they're more deeper involved. And he starts fishing on Duala uh to see if anything weird's been
yeah.
happening. And she admits to him that Adama's been acting strange and that he's been leaving the ship and not telling everybody not to log
His orders.
um his
Some of them.
flights. Yeah, no flight plans. So Duala, while telling him this, kind of sort of gets the gist that Billy's trying to like get info from her for the president,
Right.
but she doesn't take it too bad, because she's in love. You can tell that they're in that puppy love stage.
Hmm. Yeah, that's good. Thanks. I forgot about that.
Also, there's a shot of Boltar in his laboratory with all of these blood samples, just like,
Yeah,
and it's pretty funny scene because he's there like in the middle of all of these blood vials, and he's like 47,000 samples of blood, 11 hours to find out the test. At
it
that
takes
rate,
that much for one person,
yeah, one
right?
person, 11 hours. At that rate, it would take them 60 years to figure out who's the
Jesus.
who's the Cylon on the ship. So of course, while he's lamenting Six, the hallucination that he's been seeing throughout the whole season
It's really
pops up,
funny.
and she's all like, poor baby, and this and that, and how she always does. She's always flirting with him, always caressing him and touching him and stuff like that. So she's like, "Oh, you should take a break." And he's like, "Yeah." So you know what that means, right? They're about to have sex again because this guy's all he does work.
He's
Oh,
completely given
that's all he
into
thinks about, man.
that illusion.
Yeah.
Like he's so okay with
Yes.
that. Like
So he has her bent over one of the laboratory tables and he's about to go in. But then you get a shot of him without her because remember she's a hallucination. So it's a funny shot of him like basically humping nothing.
oh yeah,
And while
Starbuck
he's
walks in. Yeah.
and then Starbuck walks in to give her blood sample.
And she's like,
Yeah.
fuck.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
Oh
the
man.
frack.
Yeah. So yeah, that's when the Cylon ship appears, the Cylon Raider.
No, that's when, yeah, the Raider appears, and then in the middle of this, somehow Adama just leaves. I got like after that, like, is this when he leaves? Because he has to take
Well,
care
they
of something.
were they were asking, when the Cylon Raider appeared, they were saying, "Hey, where's Adama?"
Yeah, he wasn't
And
there
then it was
yet.
like, "Oh, he's not on the ship. He left a while ago." And they're like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, no flight plan." He's like, "No flight." And this is Ty, his second in command, saying this, first in command, I guess, saying this, like, "What? No flight plan? What's going on?" You know?
Yeah, yeah, he was
Yeah.
like, so yeah, that happens, and now they're really suspicious. Like,
Right.
oh, he's not here. Oh, he is he a Cylon kind of thing, And he it ends up being like he starts trying to find out where he was. And then he gets a signal that from the same person we were talking about earlier. Names are horrible for me, but that Adama is coming off in the ship, and then when they show the ship, they show uh a couple of sexy legs, in the corner, and then him there. He pops up. He's like, "Where you been?" You know what I mean? He's like, "Well, I'm sorry," and then boom, boom, boom. Let her know. I already showed the picture earlier. She shows up. You know what I mean?
Dun,
His wife. Dun dun dun.
reunited.
And it feels so good. So like this is actually we all suspicious now. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
really out of nowhere. So he while he's trying to figure out, they start talking and all that, and he's telling them because obviously they had a bad past. Like he was always drinking. And that had a lot to do with her, and he was looking like he was giving that up. You know what I mean? He
Right.
hasn't touched one in a long, booze in a long time. So um, they start talking. She's like, "We're starting new," and because he starts questioning her, like, "Where you been?" You know what I mean? And she's like, "I don't remember the last couple of weeks. How long have we been here?" You know what I mean? So the whole time since they've been in space, she doesn't remember that whole thing. So that's quick, like, question mark right there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So fast forward, if I miss anything, like I said, stop me, Fable. Fast forward that they end
Well,
up
what was the next point you were gonna go to?
the dinner. The dinner.
Yeah. So, well, first the Cylon ship appears, right? And they shoot it, but they don't destroy it, right? It's like damaged. So it starts jumping, doing that light speed jump thing that they can do. It starts light speed jumping all over the map. So they figure out that this thing is damaged, right? It can't get home. It's trying to go home, but it can't get home. So they start studying it. They start getting some intel off of the way it jumps, and you know what I mean. They're just basically following it and studying what it does. Um. Then we go to Caprica now, where Hilo is with Caprica Boomer, and they're running in the sewers, right? They're running.
Mhm.
And it's like, what are they running from? Well, apparently there's a battalion, like a giant army of Cylons, robotic Cylons, and ships searching, combing the entire city. Um, and Hilo is starting to like conk out. Like he can't run anymore. He's like super tired. And it seems that Boomer, of course, isn't tired, right? Because we know that she's a Cylon. But he's amazed that she's not like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean, as
He's
tired
like,
as
"How
he
you
is.
not tired?"
Right,
She's like, I can't rest. I gotta keep going," kind of thing, you
right.
know.
So then we find out that he says, why are the Cylons chasing me? Like, why do they have a whole army after me? Come to find out, Boomer's like, oh no, they're not after you. They're after me. And the reason they're after me is because I heard some stuff that they were planning while they had me captive. So that's the reasoning she gives them. And, they continue forward. They continue forward. They keep running. She gets them up. Come on, soldier, does the whole come on, soldier thing. We're out of here. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. And he gets up and they start running. So then it cuts back to the Galactica. And the president calls Gaius on the phone, Boltar, the scientist, and tells him that she wants to know she wants Adama to be tested for it. She wants to know the results as soon as he gets them. And he's like, oh, Adama called me a couple hours ago. He canceled the test and he gave me a new test. He was like, what? She's like, what? She's the one that's been like suspicious the whole time about
Hmm.
Adama because of what the Cylon had told her in the previous episodes. So this hits her hard, like, oh my God, this guy is, you know what I mean? It's possible that he's a Cylon. Um, and then, like you said, Ellen starts going, they show a scene where Ellen and Ty, and they're, talking and stuff like that. And Ellen's telling him that, she was in a coma through the whole, invasion and whatever. She was in the airport or something like that and got knocked out, and that somebody carried her onto the ship that she was on, and she's been knocked out since then. And she only just woke up a few days ago, things like that. Um, so then the president calls Ty. And the president's like, she calls him to the ship. And he's like, what's going on? She's like, listen, Adama might be a Cylon. So that, of course, makes Ty like upset, right? And he
Yeah.
starts, defending his boy immediately. And she's like, stop. You know what I mean? Basically, like we got to start thinking like this. This could be he's been leaving the ship, not giving flight plans. Um, you know, something's up, and Ty breaks it to her. No, he was going to get my wife. And she's like, your wife? Like, who? When? How long has she been here? You know what I mean? Um, let's see what else. Then they go back to Ty's room. He's with Ellen, and they're drinking, right? They're getting drunk and stuff like that. Which Ty at the beginning of the episode, um, poured out his bottle, the last of his liquor. So she's a bad influence on Ty. And I think that's when we get to the dinner. Yeah. So go ahead, Herm.
Yeah, yeah, like obviously I missed a lot. There you go. Thank you, fam. Well, they're at the dinner table and like they're sitting down. Everybody else looks uncomfortable, not wanting to be there because they all know her history. Supposedly, she's been sleeping around all around the military and stuff like that. So they
Right.
know that rumor. That's the problem they had. That's why they're supposed to start clean and all that. You know what I mean? And like they start asking, the president asks the questions. I might not get all the facts here. That's why I have Phable here. But in this dinner table, you have her playing footsies with Apollo. You know what I mean? And Apollo's like really uncomfortable and stuff like that. And I was like, oh my god. And it's hard for him to say anything because this guy's a higher rank and all that. It's his wife. He cares a lot about. When it comes to like uh anybody from family or marriage, they're blind to a lot of things. So
Right.
like he doesn't say anything, and Abdama doesn't want to be there. The president starts asking her questions and stuff like that. Fable, do you have the questions he's asked her? Because I really don't remember too
Well,
much of the questions.
she's really drunk out of her mind. That's first. She's being belligerent. She's,
Mm-hmm.
and laughing real loud and stuff. And the president is already not liking her, right? Because of her demeanor and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And she starts saying funny things like, well, we all want to know, when are we gonna find Earth? Like that's the big question. How long until
Yeah.
we find Earth? So you could tell in Adama's face, this scene is very important. It's comical, first of all. It's hilarious as hell, right? It's funny.
So
But
good.
at the same time, there's this under thing going on with these looks, right? So, when she's saying all these things and Adama's looking at her, it starts dawning on you, the audience, that Adama thinks she's a Cylon, right?
Yeah.
That's when you
Yeah.
start getting the gist that's
Yeah.
why he was sneaking around, that's why he canceled this test and wanted that vial tested. It was her blood, right?
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And and the president who suspected Adama kind of caught all of that and put two and two together. And this all happens with a look. So this is how great these actors are, right? She's
Mm-hmm.
looking at, oh, she gets it. And you can see her actually get it just by her face. Like, oh, he thinks she's a Cylon. Now you know what I mean? And you could see it. So then, like you said, they start asking her, hey, she says something. I forgot what she said, but it's like, hey, you know that the Cylons look like us, right? You know that. And she's like,
Yeah.
of course I know
Of
that. Of course.
course I know that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And it's like, but didn't you just wake up a few days ago?
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, news
Yeah, it gets
travels
around.
fast and all this other, she's looking guilty as hell. You know what I mean? So, that makes Adama and the president, I mean, yeah, Adama and the president suspect her even more because of the answers she's giving.
Yeah.
Um, and while she's doing this, yeah, she's putting her leg under the table, putting up Adama's son, Ali. He's like, he can't take it. Like he backs out from the table, all weird. Everybody's looking at him like, what the hell's going on? So yeah, man.
Yeah, so yeah, this scene was like, what a scene. So you already know this ladies, they all just suspect her, not even after the Cylon part, just a bad wife for this guy. Like he's trying to get his stuff together. He's been doing his thing. Here comes her back in his life, kind of thing. You know,
It's toxic.
Yeah,
very toxic.
big toxic.
Yeah. I mean, I think like after this, what do they go back to the back, and then she starts acting crazy and all that, and then that's when
Well, they they leave, right? Dinner's over. They leave, and that's when Adama basically spills the beans about what he's been up to the president, you know, basically saying, hey, listen, this is sensitive. I
mm-hmm,
only did it because even if she's not a Cylon, she's still bad trouble. She's still bad news for Ty. And that's his best boy.
yeah,
That's his man. That's his homie. Right. That's like
yeah,
his, not only is it his first command, but it's his best friend. And he
yeah,
knows that he's blindly in love with this lady. Like, you know what I mean? Regardless of what she's done, because he's aware of the things she's done. And he still loves her. He still and you know, Adama's worried that he's gonna fall off the wagon dealing with her. Whether she's a Cylon or not. You know what I mean? I think that's his main concern, right? Because he needs his first in command. Um, and then they cut to the scene where Ty and Ellen are walking away. They're finding their way back to their thing. And she pulls Ty to the side and says, hey, listen, man, Adama was coming to see me all this time.
mm-hmm,
And not only that, but he would sit at my bed and start touching me. So he's like, don't lie to me. Like, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Obviously Ty's been through this with her already. And she's like, oh, I'll prove it.
All right. Sorry, the
It's
thing
okay.
froze on me. Yeah, and then while this is happening, you know what I mean? Ain't that when they go to the bed and she has her legs around his neck and all that, and then the Gaius comes, not Gaius, uh, what's his name, comes out of nowhere. Uh, man, I'm horrible with names. What's his name?
Gatter,
Um, what?
Gatter,
I
Gatter.
cannot hear. Hold on, my hearing's getting bad on this. Hold on. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Oh, why am I um Gator, what's his name?
Gator. Yeah.
Gator.
Gator. Yeah, he comes out
Hmm.
of nowhere and then she's flirting with him in there. You know what I mean? And all that. Is that the next scene, or that's a
No,
little bit later?
they're showing like what you said. Ellen and Ty are fooling around in the hallway, and here comes Baltar, Gaius. He catches him, and he's like, "Oh, uh, who's this?" He's like, "Oh, this is my wife. This is Baltar." And he's like, "Oh, pleasure to meet you." She's like, "I know exactly who you are." And they look like they're having like, because he's a ladies' man. So as soon as he sees, she's attractive too. For an older woman, she's pretty
Yeah,
attractive.
yeah,
So Baltar already puts on the charm, you know, and he starts, flirting with her. And Ty's like, "Hey, you guys, cut it out."
yeah, yeah. So she's like flirting with everybody. You know what I mean? Like she's already doing it. Uh, oh man. I'm totally drawing a blank. What if you want to finish this for me, Fable? I'll get you next week.
So basically they go back when she says, "Let me prove it," and she finds that they're talking about, she walks in on Adama, the president, and Lee talking about him visiting her in the hospital. She said, "You see, I told you he was coming to see me." Right? So then Ty is like, he gets upset. Like, what? Like, this is true, kind of thing. He's like,
Right.
"Yeah, but you don't know what I'm saying. Like, you don't know why." Like, you know what I mean? Um, so they get into a little argument or whatnot. And then let me see what else happens. Um, the Raider starts aiming towards Galactica. That Raider that was jumping all over the place starts gunning its way towards Galactica. So they figure, okay, so this thing can't get home. It's obviously now on a suicide mission to Galactica. So right before it's about to hit Galactica, two Vipers come out of nowhere, intercept, and shoot it down. Right? And we find out that it was because Ty ordered those Vipers to be out there without even telling Adama.
Right.
So he was like, "Who ordered the Vipers?" He was like, "I did." He was like, "Good call, good call." And then basically after that, they meet up on the side, and he's like, "Listen, I don't. You're my best friend. It's not like that. You know what I'm saying? But um, I know how you get when you with her. And I just don't want to see my friend fall off the wagon again." So they basically make up. They handshake right there because he respected his move. He said, "What you did just now, um, lets me know basically that you're not off the wagon, that you still good, that you still, you know what I mean? You still the guy
Yeah,
that
it's
I could
still
trust or whatever." And that touches
Ty.
Ty. you know,
Yeah.
as his
Yeah.
best friend. So they make
Because
up
if
basically with that one, you
yeah,
know.
because if you think about it, like where she says he was touching her, he was trying to get the
Mm-hmm.
blood sample. At least
Mm-hmm.
that's how I saw it. Like
Yeah.
that's how he got her
Right.
blood sample. You know what I mean?
So then you cut to Caprica, where they show another version of Six walking with one of the other Cylons. I don't know that guy's name. I'm gonna learn his name. But anyway, they're walking through the city. And we find out through their conversation that Boomer is really running away from them. Like it wasn't like, because before they were just following Boomer and Hilo, studying what they were doing, manipulating him, putting him in situations to see what he would do. But now we find out that Boomer is really running away with him. And they feel like it's because she's in love with Hilo. And the male Cylon starts telling Six, man, that must feel great to be in love, you know? Because even when he looked like it was the end for him, he still looked so alive. That's what he says. He still looks so alive. So he's remarkable, like it's remarkable to him. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
And Six, who's walking next to him, he was
Jealous.
like, yeah, she's like a little acting jealous. And he calls her on it. Like, what happened? Are you mad? Are you mad? Are you still like don't like her? Or is it because you've never experienced love? And she plays it off, but when she looks to the side, you can see that she's about to cry. Like, you know what I mean? So you start thinking, is this the Six from Baltar? Right? Is this the same Six?
And burn.
Um,
Scared.
maybe. Who knows? But you know, she obviously that hurt her feelings. You know, she was gonna cry. And I
She,
believe.
I think
Mhm,
she has to. She has to like know. You know, that's it. Like I think it is. You know what I mean? Because like
mhm,
the past episode where you saw her appear and then disappear, kind of thing. That had to be
right.
another model. You know what I mean? Except for the one that was destroyed. But go ahead, go ahead. I know. I
So
know.
the
Like
episode ends basically with Ellen, Ty, President, Adama, they're all in Baltar's laboratory and they're getting the results for Ellen's blood test. And Baltar says, oh, it's green. You're okay. You're not a Cylon. And everybody breathes a sigh of relief and it's all good and everybody leaves and whatever. And then we see the hallucination Six come out again. And she tells him, what are they going to do when they find out everybody passes these days?
Crazy.
he has that smirk. You
And
know
he's
what I mean?
like,
That little smirk he does.
he's like, hey, listen, because he's not trying to spend 60 years testing people, right? He doesn't even got 60 years. So he's like, well, yeah, it is what it is. I'm not, too much work kind of thing. And
11
that's where
hours.
we ended off. We find out that he's not really testing, he's not really doing anything. And she
Yeah,
asks him, was the test really negative? And he's like, I will never tell. And that's how we
yeah.
end the episode with her on top of him in the laboratory. And it's awesome, dude.
He's just giving in. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It's almost like he doesn't want to get attacked by any of them. You know what I mean? Like he's afraid, so he's just like everybody passes. You pass,
Right,
you pass, you pass. You know what I mean?
right.
So this doesn't. It kind of makes me nervous for everybody else because like if they find out who a Cylon is or not, they're gonna have to do that the hard way. You
Right.
know, whether Ty's wife is a Cylon, we don't even know if she is or isn't now. You know what I
Right.
mean? Because
Mhm.
Right.
he didn't
Right.
really do it.
They didn't
I
really
mean,
test her. So, they think that she's cool, but we don't know. We really don't know still.
we don't know because she's been missing for a couple of weeks. So I'm here
And the memory
what
gap
they
don't
asked,
help.
where the hell? Yeah, yeah. Like how I don't know where it's conveniently, 2 weeks the whole time after all this happens when she doesn't memorize anything, which could be like she got hit while running away and got in a coma or
Right.
whatever. Anything could have happened, but we don't know. We don't know. We just here to believe,
Left in the air.
like it could be anything. It's all in the air, like Steph said. So this is a fantastic episode, and I guess we could rate them and see what our favorite scenes. Um, Starting with Steph, you want to rate? Tell us your favorite scene.
I like the dinner scene. This was kind of like a comical one of the more comical episodes, kind of up there with like the Gaius one. I think it was like maybe 2 episodes back. But the wife was just kind of very lackadaisical. You know, she was like, that one scene where she just like they tell her the news and she's just like, oh, boo. You know, she just let shit roll off her shoulders and doesn't take anything to even Ty. She doesn't take anything too seriously. Like she'll flirt with men right in front of them. Um,
Right.
it was good. It was like it wasn't very intense battle wise. I would say, but that's
Right.
okay. But I really enjoyed it, and it was a different tone, but that was still cool, and I give it a 4 out of 5.
Nice.
Station,
Decent.
station. Fable, what's your favorite scene?
Yeah, I gotta say the dinner scene. Only because there's so much character development slash moving forward in the story with all innuendo,
Yeah,
all eyes looking at each other. It's like double talk. Everybody's double talking, and it's a funny ass scene. Like, you know
yeah,
what I mean? Because Adama, you could tell in his face he don't want to be there, like, but he's entertaining them. Laura, Laura's looking at Ellen like, freaking, what is this
yeah.
bitch? She's looking at her like, what the hell? Who is this broad? Like, you know what I mean? Ty, who we always see grumpy as well, he's yucking it up. He's laughing his ass off. He's drunk like she is. You know what I mean? And then we see Lee so uncomfortable because she's touching him and all. She touched his ass. She put her foot up his leg.
Yeah,
He's like, yo, get this lady away from me, kind of thing. You know what I mean? So yeah, the dinner scene. And rating 4.5 backlogs, man.
yeah, man.
Station.
Station to that. I enjoyed this so much, so much. My favorite is uh Botar and Six. The whole
Mm.
situation, like like you were saying, like they were getting it on in the laboratory. You want a break, kind of thing. And Starbuck
Yeah,
comes out of
the
nowhere.
Starbucks. Yeah,
That was my
Oh,
favorite because them two are becoming like ongoing thing where it doesn't get old.
yeah,
It's just so funny. You just
yeah.
wait for it,
When
you
you when
know.
you had asked, like, when we had speculated who was, you were like favorite characters, and you were like, oh, right now I'm digging Boomer, Boomer, Boomer. That the guy I'm digging is Baltar, man. I love that dude, man.
Gaius.
That
Gaius is
dude
Yeah,
funny.
is
Yeah,
hilarious, bro.
yeah,
yeah.
he's great, man.
He's
Great
fantastic.
actor, great actor. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, like I guess there's so many good characters. Little
Hmm.
by little, it keeps changing for me.
Yeah,
I mean, Boomer is still one of my favorite. I think I'm
yeah.
leaning more to Starbuck right now
Oh yeah.
over Boomer. But those two are my favorite right now. But all Botar's freak. You might be right. He's probably the best character, but
Well, he's definitely the funniest. He's
he's the
Yeah,
definitely the
funniest. Yeah,
funniest.
yeah.
you need
Um,
you need that comedic person in a show, and he's
yeah,
that guy. You know what I mean?
yeah,
He does it so well too.
yeah,
Like, and he's still as a coward as he is, he's still
yeah,
like cocky ass mother. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? God.
Yeah, especially in this one where, I mean, you saw he turned on his suave button as soon as he saw Ellen. Like when he saw Ellen, he was like, "Well, hello.
Yeah, well,
My
yeah.
name is Gaius Balta. I know exactly who you are." She's like, "Oh, you need to let go of my hand." He was like, "Funny. I thought you were holding my hand." And Ty's like, "What the fuck? Get out of here with
Yeah, I
that."
cut it out. Cut it out. Let me get the hose.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
I
he's
give it
amazing.
Yeah, so I don't I like in between both of you guys. You know what I mean? Like I originally was gonna give it a 4, and then like talking about it made me love it more. So just just for the love, I'll give it a 4.52. But a 4 is strong too. Like anything, like nothing of these episodes so far has been under a 4. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's pretty much like whatever rating is 4 and up is great on these episodes. And but this episode, I had to give it less than the next one. You probably get a clue what you're gonna get, what I'm gonna give the next one, because the next one was my favorite out of the two. You know what I'm saying? I just freaking love the next one. But this episode right here was really good. A lot of information. Um, I had a ball with it, and you can tell things are starting to hit the fan.
Mhm.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And the more episodes you see, the more fracks you see. It's almost like count the fracks. I'm You're getting a lot more of that. I noticed it. And then in this next episode, there's even more of it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I've been noticing the
Uh,
fracks. So if you drink, you take a lot of shots with how
Take a
many
good shot,
fracks
yeah.
they say. You know what I'm saying? So
I mean, it really is
fantastic.
genius, right? It really is a genius. Like, it sounds silly at first, but if you think about it, like, that's their curse word. It's not, FUCK, it's frack.
Oh yeah, frack, yeah.
And, it's still in that F sound. So they can, say it with gusto. Like, you telling me she's a fracking silent? So it's awesome, dude. It's awesome that they got away. They found a way to get
Yeah.
away with cursing on TV in a unique science fiction sort of way.
You see, I think a boomer, and the next time you see it go frack, 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 frack. So excellent, excellent episode number 9. We're going over to episode number 10. And our guy Steph is gonna try to cover this because I did a bad job. Fable helped
No,
me
you did
out. You
great.
know what
You did great,
I
man. Actually, do
mean?
one of you gentlemen want to take it? And next week, I
Next
will
week
handle
you'll
2.
handle all of them. You know what I'm saying? All 3. Nah, just kidding. um,
Yeah.
I could try. I could do it again. If you guys want me to try again, and then Fable rescues me, or Fable, you just want to start.
I get
You
lost in
do
you
you?
guys' storytelling, and I just like to continue with you.
You like there? Me like.
Yeah, I'm like reliving the episodes. I like the structure you guys are going at.
Um. So yeah. So this next episode, Fable just tag team with me again. You know what I'm saying? I could start it. You know what I mean? I guess everybody loving the way me being silly. um. But yeah, this was called the Hand of God. You know what I'm saying?
Very
And
fitting.
it means a lot because there's a lot of that going on. You know what I mean? A lot of talks like
Oh
that,
yeah.
especially the way it ended and stuff like that. But we'll talk about that a little later. You know what I mean? But this title right here, it's a title from the original series. So
Mm.
they share this kind of title. I don't know if it's like the same or similar because I didn't really look back to see if that would. I didn't have time to do that, but
Word.
um, so that's pretty much what happens in this episode. The hand of God, like I said, Fable rescue me because I'm probably gonna mess up a lot. But this is a strong Starbuck episode to me. You know what I mean? Obviously, as we're gonna go through all this. Gaius is still big in this. Gaius Boltar. It's just, so the president. I think it starts with the president in giving a conference because they're talking about the fuel
Right.
and all this.
Oh, sorry about the.
No, it's all good. They got in the beginning. It says they only had 5% of the whatever. I forgot the name of the fuel. So if you remember, Fable, just give us the name. But fuel, this whole thing, they haven't really mentioned this a whole lot, but they need fuel to do these jumps and stuff like that. So
Yep.
the conference, they're all wailing on her on these questions. Oh, are we gonna have enough for the next jump? When are we gonna find the next planet with the fuel that we need for this?
Overwhelming
Where,
her.
yeah, totally overwhelming her, on top of the problems she's been having health wise. And all of
Right.
a sudden she sees a snake. And then she sees another snake. And they keep drilling her with questions about fuels and how do you know? And if you run out, what's gonna happen? Obviously, all these questions are freaking easy. If you don't find the fuel, you die. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm thinking. You know what I mean? But
Just trying to have that good bedside manner, and they're not working with her.
yeah, yeah. So she's going through all this motion, and she's stuck in the podium, and, and it's like these snakes are all over her. It's like she can't take them off, kind of thing. You know what I mean? And everybody's looking at her like, is she okay? What is going on here? You know what I mean? Um, it's just it's yeah, it's taking its toll. It's taking its toll. Um, she disappears into the back, and everybody's there like, what is going on?
Yeah, they were
Um,
stuck.
yeah, there's nothing like the questions, like something like this will probably start jumping questions to their media and stuff like that,
Right.
because not many people know that she's dying of breast cancer and stuff like that. So um let's see what else happens. So all this is happening. They're all worried about the human race and stuff like that, and they start figuring out um how they're gonna get this fuel or something like that. Um, Tilium. Am I saying it right? Tilium. So an astro made of tilium. They go after, like I said, Fable. Whatever I forget, rescue me.
Yeah, they basically are searching asteroids for this ore that they're looking for called Tilium, and it's the source of fuel for their ships. Um, well, Boomer and I believe his name, I forgot his name. Was it Chuckles? No, it was
No,
what's his
I
name?
I want to call it like Sanders, not Chuck. Chuckles was the guy who got killed later
Okay,
on.
okay.
But no, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. So Boomer and him are in a Raptor. They're scanning asteroids, seeing if they find the Tilium, and they do. They find the
Hmm.
Tilium. But then they also find a bunch of Cylon Raiders and an entire refinery built on the asteroid where they found the Tilium. So obviously the Cylons found this before them, and they're kind of playing the same game as well. They need their fuel,
Right.
you know. So then you cut to the president is having a meeting with this religious figure,
Hmm.
and telling her about first the dream she had with the other Cylon from the previous episodes. I forgot about 2 episodes back. The
Yep.
one that told her that Adama was a Cylon. She's telling her about the dream she had with him and how vivid they were. And then she tells her about the snakes. And the lady asks, well, how many snakes were there? And she said 12. Um, So then this sets off, the religious lady. She's like, "Oh, this you ever heard of the prophecy of Piphia?" So supposedly in their religion, there was a lady named Pythia that lived 3,500 years prior to them, and in this prophecy, basically foretold how a lady will lead their army to Earth or Cobalt or whatever it is. They'll find the planet they're looking for, being led by a lady, and she will be led by serpents, numbering 10 and 2, which equals 12. So it's looking like the prophecy is matching up, And then she said, but the only thing is Pythia said that the person who will lead us to the planet, she won't make it to see the planet. But you're not dying, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And
Dun,
she's
dun,
like,
dun.
Yeah.
exactly.
So she
um,
is dying. You know, we all know she has cancer and that she is
Was
dying.
she atheist? Did they establish that at the beginning of the series?
You know, I think a lot of these people are just like us. We grow up in Catholic or Christian homes, but none of us really practice the religion, not the way, you know, you're really supposed to. Doesn't mean we don't believe in God.
Right.
We just don't dedicate our lives in that way. You know, we don't worship or whatever as much as our parents would probably like, you know. So this is probably the same kind of society where they grew up with these stories, they grew up with this religion, but some of them are like it's just a legends, you know.
Right. Right.
yeah. So keep on keeping on. Um, they go back to Obama and all of them. They start the president's there, if I don't recall, and they start talking about how they're gonna, you know, attack this thing. You know, I don't. This is probably from the last episode, but you know they have this whole field, but it's probably before their plan of attack and stuff like that. And they're like, how are we gonna attack this and all that? And there and Obama, he's kind of like we need somebody who you know who because they do everything by the book and obvious. So we need somebody who's crazy enough to surprise these Cylons. So who they get? Obviously Starbuck. You know what I mean? So they go. He goes over to her and she's teaching a class, and she tells the class to take 5 minutes while he talks to her, and he tells her, you know, I need you, you know, we have something going on, and she already knows that their plan of attack of Dama before this, his plan was go after go after them. You know what I mean? Because they're running out of fuel, and then the president's like, you sure this is smart? And he's like, yeah, that's the only tactic we could do. Go after them now while they don't expect us to do it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's pretty much what happened before he goes to Starbucks. I skip the whole thing, but you guys know what I do. But but so pretty much that's what they said. So that's when he talks to her. She already found out that his plans of attack is go after um these these Cylons that Boomer and the other guy, which I keep forgetting. I'm gonna call him Doomsday because he was Doomsday in Smallville. But
Okay. Look. Yeah, or Star Killer.
oh, Star Killer, there you go. That's all I see when I see him. You know what I mean? He's like he's bad. You know what I mean? But
Yeah, he's always pretty
yeah.
bad, dude.
And I like the scene where he finds it, and then she's like, "We did it." And he's like, "You trying to take credit for it?" You know what I mean? Like
Right.
what? You know what I mean? But keep on keeping on, going off rails already. But yeah. So he asks her, and because she, like I said, she's the one that could to do the whole plan to surprise everybody. You know what I mean? And then after that, she goes into the room, she starts planning, like they start the whole plan. She's like, I don't like the plan. It's too obvious. So she thinks of an idea to have one of the ships be a decoy. You know what I mean? And all the fighter ships are there, and she think the Cylon will send all their I think they said 90% of their ships and planes and all that, their raiders to go
Right.
get them. And while they do that, the Galactica go around the other way and take out, their main base there to take uh the
Natillium.
the Tillium that they need, and they bounce. So they're like, all right, you sure this is good? You sure? You sure? You know what I mean? And they're like, okay. So that's what they do. Starbucks doesn't want to do this. You know what I mean? I'm skipping all over the place, so you'll forgive me. But before all
Well, they
this, Starbucks.
where they
Go
where
ahead.
they where they're planning the attack on the refinery, um, they bring in Boltar
Yeah, there
because
you go.
uh, um,
Yeah, they're being Boltar.
apparently
He
they
does
want to
the
use a
whole.
nuke, but the issue is that if they use a nuke, they're gonna they're gonna render the tilium inert, so it won't work anymore. It won't be a good source of fuel. So they're trying to figure out where to strategically hit this refinery in a way that it can explode and not render the tilium inert. So they bring in Baltar to try to figure out where they should hit, what target would cause a chain reaction explosion. And we find out he doesn't know. He's acting like he does know, but when he goes into his head world, because we know that Gaius falls back into this head space that he has, and it's always his old apartment. It's always his old apartment by the lake. Um, and he always falls back there, and he starts asking his hallucination of six, I need your help. I don't know anything about Tilium. I don't know what to hit. And she comes up to him, she's massaging him. She's always touching this guy, like she's always caressing him and stuff like that. And she's
He's
giving him
that market
massages and
research.
yeah, and she tells him, well, just give yourself to God, and God will tell you where to hit. And he's like, that's not enough for him. He's not a believer. So he's like, what? And she's like, you've done it before. Do it again. Give it to God. God will tell you. So he just randomly picks a spot on the map. He does it, you know what I mean? He just randomly picks a spot and then leaves the meeting and is telling his illusion that, the fate of the world rests on my wild guess. Like, you know what I mean? She's like, oh, it'll be okay. Great scene.
He's in the hallway. He's in the hallway
God's using you.
talking like
Right.
this while people are walking by and they're looking at him like he's crazy.
Right. And again,
oh
another great performance by the same actor who plays Gaius, who, is having this imaginary conversation, slips into his world, his um his slimy way of getting out of things it works again, you know what I mean?
And what's funny is like I think that when they were in the room that I showed earlier, when they were in this room and all that, planning on everything, everybody's planning over here, over there, and he's just with six and messing around and he's rolling around the chair like la 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 la. Like
Yeah.
people not seeing this. The guy, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
out of nowhere, like when this is happening, like still this. Oh my god, it's so funny. Yeah, and the whole thing while everything's happening, of course, like Starbuck who wants to fly, like they plan on going and attacking all that. Abdama, goes to her and she's doing the weight thing, with her legs because her legs are still healing. She broke her leg, and to be able to fly one of these ships, she's gonna have to have pressure. So like 60 pounds or whatever pressure that she needs to fly this thing. So the Viper. So she's like, I can do it. I'm the best pilot for this. I can do this. I should be out there. And he goes, okay. He starts testing him. And if you could do this for 10 seconds, hold this weight because he adds weight while she's like pressing. Then you could fly it. So he's adding weight, right? 10 seconds. She can't even last for 10 seconds. She fails it and she's like really upset about it. And he's like, that wasn't even 60, that was 30. So you're gonna come and like take the chair right next to him, you know what I mean? And plan out this whole thing. And that's why, instead of her flying, Commander Apollo will take command. Which is a big deal. Because everybody thinks she can do it, you know what I mean? He has a lot of question mark and believe that he can do it. You know what I mean? And also
Right.
they have a talk. He has a talk with his son. You know what I mean? And as you see here, you know what I mean? They talk about their grandpa, his grandpa, you know what I mean? I forgot his first name, but he to try to encourage his son. He's like, you know what? Like what happened?
I think
Joseph.
it was
Yeah.
Joseph.
I think so. I think you're right. Yeah, yeah. So like he tells him like the whole stories about him, heroic stuff. You know what I mean? Like they all taking each other's footsteps and stuff like that. And then he tells him, he gives him this lighter. He's like, um, whenever he did anything, he took this lighter. It was good luck. When he didn't, he failed. You know, kind of thing. So he gave him this and tells him, you know, I'm giving you this. Uh, don't lose it. And then he tells him, you know, the Apollo asks him, do you think I could do this? And he goes, I know you could do it. And he goes, why? Because you are my son.
Yeah,
You
it's
know
Right.
what I
really
mean? And
good by the moment.
this was really strong. Like
Yeah,
I felt it. You know what I mean? Like he looked at him, you are my son. And like
I
he's
love.
not really looking at him. He's like right next to him. And he Apollo feels touched because he says, you know, he even told him, he even told Apollo, he was a better father than me. His grandfather was a better father than him. And the son just like looks like he feels bad that he said that kind of thing, like partial truth. But you know, with the whole military thing, it usually happens. It happens a lot. I
Right.
have family, you know, my uncle and the kids and all that. It's a touchy subject.
Right.
So all this hit me because I witnessed this a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Strong scene for me. Um,
I
And
like his
he
follow up
had
line.
those doubts, or he felt like people were looking at him like he's not as good as Starbuck.
yeah,
Because Starbuck herself went up to him and told him, like, you better do this. He's like, what, you think I can? He was like, I don't know, but you better get this. You know what I mean? So that led to that. Um, Also, a little bit before that scene, we go to Caprica, where Boomer and Hilo are on the run still, and they finally find this farmhouse. So they decide to crash in the farmhouse um, to get some rest finally. I mean, they've been running forever. So when they finally go to get some rest, Boomer throws up. Now, Hilo automatically assumes that it's because of the radiation and asks her if she's been taking her radiation medicine. But we, start to suspect, is Boomer pregnant?
that's insane. That that's insane. That whole thing, that's insane. Cause yeah, I remember that. Like you would think like they built these so good that she actually can get impregnated. You know what I mean? Like that's sick. You know what I mean? Because we
Then
know they
after
got
the
it on.
scene,
So
yeah, yeah.
go ahead.
Then after the
Go ahead.
scene you're talking about, where the father and son have a good chat, a good heart to heart, um, we go back to Caprica again. This time, Hilo looks out the window and he sees a version of Six coming with a battalion of soldiers to the farmhouse. So they have to make their escape, and they do. They run out of there. They're not entirely sure how they found him, and he's a little shocked that the lady that he sees, he saw her die in, I believe, the first episode.
Yeah,
She came up to him
yeah.
and said, "Are you alive?" Kissed him, and then Boomer shot her. But now he's seeing her again. We know, the audience knows that she's obviously a copy. But for Hilo, this is the first time he's seeing this lady who he thinks died. That Boomer shot. Here she is walking like nothing, no wounds, nothing. So his mind is blown. He's like, "What the hell's going on here? I thought you
He was
killed that
really confused.
lady."
Yeah.
She's like, "No time for that. Let's get out of here now." And then they run away.
Run away, run away.
And that's when the plan of attack commences. Go ahead, Hum. Because I
All
know
right,
this.
all right.
I know this is why this was your favorite episode.
Yeah, yeah. You got to love this part.
I
You
know.
watch this, you know I
The
love like
action at this point in the episode ramps up to 10. It goes from like nothing's going on, then boom. So go ahead, Hum.
so you see they're in action. And Adama tells Starbucks, like, they have a little talk, and he talks with her. He has a little bit of heart and heart to her right there, before they start going, right? And he tells her, because she's like, this is not for me or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, I should be out there, kind of thing. He tells her, this is what I had to do. You know what I mean?
Mm,
To get out of this.
right.
Because she's complaining to him. He's like, you got to get over yourself. Like, I'm changing the words, but this is pretty much what I
Yeah.
understood. You got to get over yourself. Because one day you're going to be in my chair. So I think he sees her doing what he's doing. You know what I mean? And for her to be able to be the commander and not the one on the ship, because he was on the ship too. So he can relate to her. And she's that kind of person which she thinks outside of the box. You
Right.
know what I mean? Like he can. Because not everybody could do his job. And I think he sees a lot her in him kind of
Right.
way to control. At least that's what I understood from it.
He's
You know what I mean?
basically telling her, yeah, you nice. You probably the best, but I'm nice too. That's why I'm the commander. Like, you know what I'm saying? Let her know,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that's
yeah,
why
yeah.
I lead the squad because I'm not so bad myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So and he had to do the same thing.
Mm,
What she has to do eventually,
mm,
he's trying to teach her, like, this is gonna be you in the future. You know what I
right.
mean?
Oh, you're talking
Um,
about Adama speaking to her.
speaking to her.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Because when the plan of attack commences, they already take a few casualties, and it seems as if their plan is not working. So that's when
he talks to her.
she's like frack, she knows that a
Yeah.
couple of guys died because of the way her plan was. And he's telling her, you know, that's how it is. Welcome to the big leagues. Like you basically a commander
Yeah, yeah,
now,
yeah.
I'm grooming you.
Yeah, yeah. So before that, I'm gonna jump the
Mhm.
gun a lot. I say that a lot. But that's why I got my hero right here. But but like before that, of course, you see the action. They do everything. They put the beacon and you know the distraction. But like you were saying, Starbucks, it doesn't go the way she says. They send everybody
Right,
towards, you know what I mean? And they're like, oh crap, you know what I mean? Like they end up sending towards them, they go the other way and
right,
send everybody towards Galactica. So
right.
now that's when she's freaking out. It's like, oh frack, kind of thing.
Yeah,
But after that whole conversation, everything like that, they start sending in Apollo's crew, which the president didn't know about that. He's like, I
right,
didn't know about this. You know what I mean? You guys didn't
right,
tell us about this. And then Abdama says, sometimes some things we keep top
right,
secret.
right.
You know what I mean? I
Yeah,
forgot
because
what's the
you
exact words
have
he said.
you have three things going on in this attack. You have one party of ships that is like civilian ships, and they're supposed to be decoys. They expected the raiders to be distracted with these decoy ships, which were empty. They evacuated all the people off of them and just used them as decoys. As predicted, all the Cylons, they launched like 90 ships or something like that, 90 raiders to come intercept these decoy ships. Um, uh, at the same time, you have these other pilots going towards the refinery. So the Cylons, I don't know how, but they intercepted some sort of message while they were doing that, and they all combined forces. The Cylons, the 50 that they send after these guys, and the 90 they send after these guys, they all leave their targets and converge on Galactica. So they're all coming for Galactica. Well,
Yep.
it seems like it's over, right? The plan didn't work. It seems like it's a wrap. And then we find out, no, that's exactly what we wanted to happen because Adama has, I don't know, about 11 or 12 Vipers hidden on
Hidden.
this, hidden on the decoy ships, which the Raiders left alone, right? And the president's like, what? And it's like, yeah, and what you said. Not everything's for everybody. That's how I run my operations, kind of thing.
Yeah, that's how
And
I roll.
so you could see in her face, she lights up. She lights up because she thought it was
She loves it.
over, and she's like, "Oh man, you know what I
Nice.
mean? That's what I'm talking
She
about."
wasn't mad. She wasn't
Right.
mad.
And
She loved it.
they're like, tell Lee the back door is open. And they're
Right.
like, confirm, back door is open. And then so they launch out that secret compartment. They go towards the refinery. Go ahead, my brother. Take us home.
Man. So they go after it. They start, because they lost a few ships before. They were getting worried earlier. You know what I mean? And they start going in. They start losing a couple of their guys in there, and one of the other pilots ends up. And they see their target and stuff like that, and they like, I think that's after. Sorry, this is the planning.
Well, they're trying to go in to attack the refinery, but the refinery is armed with turrets and cannons and things of this nature. So they can't just zoom, they can't just fly straight towards this thing.
They
They
gotta do
can't,
it manually.
right,
They
because
say it's
they launched a few missiles, and because of the scrambler they have, whatever guidance
they're
system
going.
scrambler, the missiles just didn't hit their target. So they knew that they had to go in direct and just launch from a close range. But they couldn't get close because all the turrets from this damn refinery are aimed at them. And like you said, a few guys got hit. A few guys started
Yeah.
getting locked off. So Lee breaks off because he sees this chasm. He sees this little passage, this little hole that he could get his ship in.
Yeah.
And he goes down that hole, and everybody in the fleet, the president's like, what the frack is he doing? Is he freaking crazy? Yeah,
Hmm.
my brother.
But that's something Starbucks would do. You know what I mean? Like,
Ah,
he's doing the crazy. You
there
know
you
what I mean? So
go.
he's going in. He ends up going in this little hole like you're playing Star Fox and stuff. Anybody
Right.
who plays Star Fox, really, that's why I felt like playing Star Fox. You know what I mean? I was thinking, where's my
Oh,
switch? You know what
not
I'm
to
saying?
mention that the graphics in this particular scene were amazing. They
They
still
were
look
good.
really good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it aged well. It looks like they took
Hell
a
yeah.
lot of their budget and threw it into the scene. You know what I mean? They sacrificed a couple other episodes and did great in those episodes, but they lose their budgets a lot in these scenes. So you see my man Apollo going right in there, and I'm looking like, oh man, I'm looking like, yeah, let's play Star Fox. You know what I'm saying? Like I said earlier, and then he's going through, and then all of a sudden he sees a dead end. And I was like, oh, and guys, the way they film this, they leave you in suspense because they don't give you the answer right away. They look at his face. They look in the back in Galactica, and everybody's like, oh, wondering and all that. They keep you in suspense. He ends up pressing the brakes. You know what I mean? Because this is not an airplane, or these are space ships. Space jets. You know what I mean? The Viper can do things. He puts on the brakes, and then there's another passageway on the top. He goes up and over and lands where he needs to be. And he goes around a couple of things. He tells them, guys, I'm close to where they need to destroy
Mhm.
the piece to destroy that whole thing. You know what I mean? And then they're home free. So he goes over two little tankers and then drops two like torpedo looking missiles in the bottom of this thing. He leaves, and it doesn't blow up right away. It's looking
Right.
like there's something
And
wrong.
and they cut to Gaius because remember, Gaius is the one who picked this freaking spot for
With
them
the,
to
yeah,
blow.
yeah, 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 the
And
map,
he's
yeah.
shitting bricks. Everybody's shitting bricks, but he's really shitting bricks because he's like, this thing might not explode. Go
Yeah,
ahead,
yeah,
Herm.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, yeah, not only that, like you said earlier, he guessed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He just went here and he ended up being right. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I was just like, wow. So everybody's in suspense. They go back to the computer room. Everybody's looking. Apollo's looking. And I mean like, blow up already. You know what I mean? They did such a great
Hell
job,
yeah.
like pausing everything. They didn't give it to you right away, and then boom, blows up. Right, Starbucks and all them is looking at the screen, waiting for the signal, and Apollo gives them the good information, and they all celebrate. celebrate good times. Come on. No, no, no. You know what I mean? They're excited. Apollo shows you the man. You know what I mean? He could be the man too, not just Starbucks. You know what I mean? Which is
Right.
pretty cool.
Yes.
A defining moment for him in the show right here.
Yes.
Um, they showed them back in Galactica, and Starbuck hugs the president, right? And then she's, "Oh,
Yeah.
I apologize, president." And she goes, "No, you did so great," you know, because he's excited and gives her a hug again, a warm hug. That was pretty cool, you know what I mean? Because Starbucks was always this tough girl. She don't hug, you know what I mean? She's a military girl, and she don't hug. There's no hugging. There's no hugging in military, you know what I mean? So,
Right.
awesome finish, and it keeps going though. It doesn't end here. They
Right.
celebrate. Apollo and all them comes back. You know what I mean? She goes up to him, and I had that picture, and it didn't come. It didn't come through. The technology was failing me today, but like always. But she tells him like they kind of tell each other good job kind of thing, and he has a celebrating, and she gives him you know the cigar, you know what I mean, the fat lady,
Right.
over to the fat lady sing kind of thing,
Right.
and and see, look, he goes, I had my doubts. She goes, I had my doubts, and he goes, yeah, I had my doubts too. Talking about each other's job, you know what I mean? You
Mm-hmm.
did a good job, and yeah, everybody celebrate. Abdama comes out of nowhere, you
Mm-hmm.
know, kind of give him a thumbs up. Um, um he what's his face, Apollo, with that thing. We don't have the picture of it, but that's the picture earlier of the lighter. Throws the lighter back because he says, I promise I'll bring it back, to his dad earlier. He tosses it to him, and he
Mm-hmm.
gives him a fist pump, like,
Yep.
yeah, mother essa, you know what I'm saying?
He's proud of his
And
son. Very
he's
proud of his
proud of
son.
his son, man. He's proud of his
Yeah.
son. And then, like, so that ends, right, and it goes back to uh you know Dr. Gaius Baltar, you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean, and he's like laying down, you know what I mean, and Six is talking to him. And Fable, I want you to talk about what they talk about, because you better explaining about this stuff than I am. What do they say to each other? Because she's kind of giving him the God preach and all that. See, you see, and he's like wondering, yeah, I might be,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know,
He
I
basically,
might,
he's in his headspace. Again, when they show his imagination, it's his apartment always. And of course, there she is, caressing and hugging him and in his ear. And he's in shock, like I cannot believe that worked, kind of thing. Like I just can't. And she said, "Of course, God, she's always with the God thing." And she said, "Have you ever heard the legend of Pythia?" So this is the same legend that the president was being told by the religious person at the beginning of the episode. And he's like, everybody knows that story. Like, you know what I mean? Anybody, any sixth grader knows that, all this has happened. She quotes that line, all this has happened before and will happen again. This is, so he's like, yeah, I know that. Everybody knows that old tale or whatever. She's like, well, you should have read the legend even further. She was like, 12 serpents will lead you to the planet of the gods. And he's like, wait a minute. It's not the snakes that Laura saw in her dream. The 12 snakes are the viper jets that they're talking about, right? Because they're vipers, they're snakes.
yeah,
So, it's like
yeah,
mind blown, like, oh, you know what I mean? This legend might actually be for real, you know what I mean? And he's like, wow. He's like, so you're telling me God wanted me to destroy the Cylon base? And she's like, yeah. Um, um, and I got to tell you something else. There'll be a big confrontation in the city of God. So basically telling him when they find Kobo, there's going to be a big, you know, a kerfuffle or war, whatever you want to talk about. She's like, it's going to be a confrontation. And he was like, wow, I'm a tool of God. You know what I mean? She's like, yeah. yeah, you're one of his tools. And he's like, yeah, like he's all full of himself because now he feels like he's God's messenger, like he was the chosen one. But what's interesting about this one is in the final shot, he's on some sort of like banister or something, like some
Yeah,
sort of
he's like
wall, and he
next to
looks
the
like
water.
Jesus.
Yeah,
The shot it ends with him looking in the sky and doing one of these and standing on the thing, and it's just like Jesus. It was beautiful.
yeah. I was. This episode is fantastic, man. One of my favorites. I keep saying that like every week. Oh nah, this one's one of my favorites. Nah, this one's
Oh
one of my
yeah.
favorites. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, yeah. Great action, great suspense and all that. You know what I'm saying? Like you know what I'm saying? Steph, what you felt about this episode? Was this like as exciting as for you like it was for us?
Yeah, it was solid. It was solid. Another solid episode. Give it
Okay.
4. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
What's your favorite part? Well, I guess this is where we go when we talk about favorite scene. What was your favorite scene in this one?
Mm, Probably when Rosalind like started to believe in the prophecies. And
Hmm.
she's like, "Oh, but you're not dying, are you?"
Right.
And it kind of like dawned on her. She's like, "Oh shit, something happened to me."
Oh yeah. It's like, oh snap.
Yeah.
All right, all right. So yeah, favorite. What was your favorite part of this episode?
Um, I guess my favorite part is just the whole battle, man. The whole, that whole um campaign that they basically did on the Cylon refinery. Like that whole scene it was action packed. It looked fantastic. The graphics were amazing. It held your suspense through the whole thing. You don't know if this is going to work, The way they pulled out this secret plan on everybody, even the audience, like, what? He's got these 12 ships in. When that thing comes out, it's like, yeah, you get super pumped. And when the thing finally blows up, you get pumped again. Like it was just a great, great action sequence. And it was a long one. It lasted about, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes. It's really good.
Yeah, yeah, it was really good. I'm glad. Like I like the last episode a lot. But episode like this, I love. I love action too. So when they give you the action, they're not gonna give you it every episode. So because when they give it to you, it's beautiful and it works great. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? So did you grade it?
Oh, I would give this episode 5 backlogs. Oh yeah, this was like I said, action packed. Like Herm said, we have all this drama, and they don't, sometimes it's really not too much action, but when they do the action, it's badass. Like the Viper is one of the coolest damn ships ever, man. The way that thing moves, the way it could stop on a dime, turn on a dime, swivel, flip upside down, I mean, that thing is amazing, and you kind of start really feeling the pilots and how skillful they have to be in order to fly something like that.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm already losing my voice. I get so excited. So yeah, man. You guys already know my favorite part is of the action, the entire scene of the action scene. We were just talking about it right now.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? That's my favorite part. But if I really had to pick one, I always give it up in my talks earlier. It's the Aldana Apollo talk. You know what I mean?
Right,
That's my favorite because that touched the heart. You know what I'm saying? Like you know he's the dad. You know what I mean? And you're my son. How do you know? How do you know I can succeed? He tells him, "You're my son." That's
right.
so goddamn strong. You know what I mean? I know they have a
Hmm.
history, but he needed to hear something like that. Like
Right,
my dad's got my back. You know what I mean? Not just as my commander, but
right.
as a dad, because that's really
Yeah.
important in all this. And you see this kind of relationship going throughout.
Hmm.
Yeah, we got Starbucks, who's a badass, but you're not so bad yourself, kind of thing. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Apollo
That
is
quick,
nasty with it too, man. He's
yeah.
nasty. And you know, when he said it's because you're my son, it's because we know Commander Adama was a pilot himself. You know, so you know, when he tells Starbuck, you know, you can't make it on this, and this is how it feels. And I know how what you're feeling because I used to be a pilot too, and you know, having to give it up and see and just direct pilots, it's hard. You know, it's not easy. But you know, when he tells his son, "You're my," it's because you're my son. It's like, well, I was a badass pilot, so of course you're a badass pilot. You know what I mean? It's awesome.
You're right. Yeah, this episode, man. Yo, I'm oh, I say this every week. I'm thankful for you to get me this to watch this show with you guys because
Oh yeah.
I'm having a ball and I actually do wait. I like every week I wait. I haven't watched the last three yet. I can't wait. I'm probably gonna try to watch them tomorrow. You know what I mean? That way, when I watch them again next week, I can actually take notes.
Oh yeah.
And try to do the best I can. You know what I mean? Step up. You know, I take my notes. Like, but man, great job, you guys. I love this episode. And next week, guys, next week is the finale of this first season. We're doing seasons. We're doing episode 11, 12, and 13. I'm trying to get the name of it right now on here. If I can pull it up. Sometimes it doesn't want to pull up on me. You know what I mean? So yeah. So episode 11 is called Colonial Day. 12 is called Kobu's Last Gleaming, Part 1 and Part 2. So we
Ooh.
have 11 will be an episode, and then there's a two-part of the end this season, which I can't wait. Like I said, it's already hitting the fan, and you can tell that's what happens towards the end of a season like this, because they try to do the best they can to catch the interest of the people so they can have a season 2. They can have a season 3. So, which I can't wait to go through this season 2. So next week with the finale, not only is going to be us 3, but we're going to have a special guest on his birthday,
Yes,
Brother
sir.
Joe. Brother Joe will be joining us next week. Station, if he's still watching, Brother Joe, I can't have yet. Celtic theme. Oh man. So Brother Joe, my
Oh
man,
yeah, the
next week.
music, the music. That's what he's talking
Oh
about.
yeah.
The Celtic music that was playing through this episode was fantastic.
Country music as a top. Oh, okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, guys, come back. If you're watching this, you still haven't seen it. It's so easy. You can watch this on Peacock for free. You get a few, uh, what do you call it, commercials and stuff, but it's free. It's like 30 to 60 seconds sometimes, and it goes fast. It's an amazing. You binge watch the whole thing to want to watch these 3 episodes. So anybody who's in the chat or watch this on the rewind, you know what I'm saying? If you're watching this on the rewind, remember, hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, ding that bell for notification for future videos, so you can watch more content of us, any of us in the Bad Batch. The description is down below, including these gentlemen who have their own Instagram and all that. So always a wonderful time with you guys. Next week, like I said, will be a finale. It'll be a 3 episodes, so they might not be you know, that beautiful sight kind of thing next week neither, because it takes a while to because the way we enjoy these episodes, you know what I'm saying. I can't wait. Brother Joe, when you watch these, you let me know which episode you want to cover, you know what I mean. And then Steph, you let me know which episode you want to cover, you know what I'm saying. And Faye, we want to try to give you the day off, you know what I'm saying. So try to take notes next time. You know what I mean? But like you always there to you both of you to always help me out. That's why we do our thing here, help each other out. That's why we got this brotherhood
I
going
wish
on
I
right
could
now.
light a cigar and throw you a lighter.
Like, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, so without further ado, I guess we finished the show, guys. In the chats, I've seen a couple of people John Thomas is still in there. Real Route 6 Station, my man. What's going
Asian.
on, brother? Hope you're
Oh
doing
yeah.
good. Really good person right there. Who we had on the Blame Fable show before. Hopefully one day we could get you back on there, brother.
Oh
You know
yeah.
what I
Oh
mean?
yeah.
Bobby Hardcore Station still up in here. John Thomas, still up in here. Guys, you guys can tell I don't want to leave. You know what I mean? But we got to. You know what I mean? Not every episode's got to be 2 hours or long or more. Chamorro Cinema still up in here,
Yo, his
and
comment was hilarious when we were talking about Lee going into the hole. He was like, yeah, he went into a big gaping hole.
he was,
I started
that
dying.
that bit's always going around. You know what I mean? So so the next time you see me, I'm gonna try to shoot a video for. I haven't done it yet. I've had it for over a week. The Pop Culture Philosopher mystery box. You see me holding up a box. Ooh, that's not the actual box. I got the other box up there. So this one I'm gonna try to actually shoot like an old school video, and then probably premiere it sometime this week. So that's my plan on finally getting that thing open. I want to see what's in there. Premiere at a good time that hopefully Robbie can watch it. See what he thinks, stuff like that. Any of you who want to watch it. So that's what's coming up for me. And I don't have a thumbnail for this Sunday show, but Fable, what's happening in the hashtag Blame Fable Tonight show this Sunday?
Well, as usual, every Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern on Instagram Live, me, Missing Link, and Herm do a show called Blame Fable Tonight. And this weekend, our special guest will be one half of Geeks Unleashed, Jasmine. She's an awesome, awesome podcaster that works with Mark on Geeks Unleashed, and their podcasts on pop culture are awesome. If you like podcasts, give Geeks Unleashed a shot. I'm pretty sure you're gonna enjoy them. You know, Mark is awesome, Jasmine is fantastic. They play off each other very well. And she's gonna be our guest this weekend. And the movie we are reviewing is the John Woo classic, The Killer. So I cannot wait because I think I'm the only one on the panel who's seen it.
Yeah, I've never seen
So
it.
it's gonna be
You haven't seen this one, Steph?
yeah,
Wow.
right.
Nice. All
Yeah.
right.
I hit up
Cool.
Jasmine and I
I'm
said,
not the only one
Jasmine.
finally.
I said,
Thank you,
Jasmine,
Steph.
what kind of movies do you like? And she said, I like 80s actions films. The more over the top, the better. So I don't know. I mean, I know you guys have never seen John Woo's The Killer, but if any of you in the chat have seen it, you know that The Killer is what a lot of action movies in the late 80s and early 90s start to try to emulate.
Hmm.
Because there's a lot of the story's really good. It's dubbed. Unfortunately, the dubbing is what it is. You know, it's not going to be the greatest acting ever. Hopefully, you see it in their faces rather than what's coming out of their mouth. But it's good enough to keep the story going. You know what's going on. But it's the action in this movie. You have to pay attention to the action in this movie because years following this movie, you will notice these shots, is what I'm saying. When you watch this movie, you're gonna see shots you've seen in other movies and then understand where they came from. So it's gonna be awesome. I think you guys will enjoy it.
Sweet, man. Can't wait to watch it. Can't wait to do that show with you guys. I enjoy Whiplash Wednesday with you guys. And the fun fact about that is we get to do it again on Sunday. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So fantastic. Can't wait to have Jasmine on here. You guys got anything else? Steph, you got anything else happening this week?
Do not.
Okay, you got finally got some
Nice.
days off. Like,
Finally
because
got a break.
we've been getting all these shows in, you know what I mean? It's
Oh
like the
yeah.
regular. Oh man. So yeah, Fable, you in anything this week or you good too? Just Sunday.
I think I'm hoping that I can join Dylan's horror show Saturday evening around 8 or 8:30 p.m. Dylan's horror show is with Dylan and Rock and Robbie. They both go over horror movies. Dylan is a horror expert. Usually Verno, usually Missing Link are there. most times. I can't get there all the time, but I try to get there as much as I can because I love hanging out with Link, of course, and Verno and Robbie and all of them. So hopefully I'm hoping to make that film. And do you remember the film, Link? What they're doing this weekend?
Entity. What did
Entity.
they?
Yes. Entity. A classic horror film
Never
from the
seen it.
early 80s. Yeah. It's a pretty intense film. I don't know how it holds up. I haven't seen it in a while, but it has a lot of disturbing scenes in it. Uh, it's there's rape in there, but it's not
Ooh,
like
Right.
classic whatever. I don't know if you call it classic, but you know what you would think rape is. It's actually ghosts raping these women. So it's very intense. It's very controversial film, but I think it's a very important horror film. So yeah, check
all
that
right.
out on Saturday. Like I said, Rockin' Robbie, Dylan, Missing Link, Burno. Hopefully I could join these guys and we could check it out.
Sweet, sweet. I can't wait, man. Of course, before I leave, I had to put my little right there. This is going on everywhere with the Batman. You know, I got my own version up in there. You know, me
Nice.
being a Batman lover and stuff like that. I'm gonna try to see the movie this weekend. A lot of places are already sold out. Any of you two gonna go see this movie, or are you gonna wait on it?
I'm definitely gonna try. Um, we'll
Yeah,
see.
Yeah. I mean, I can unfortunately. I heard that they lifted the Vax card thing in these movie theaters. I'm not 100% sure if that's the case, but I'm the only one who has a Vax card. My wife, she's pregnant. She's about to give birth. She doesn't want to get any vaccines until after she, gives birth.
yeah,
So,
makes sense.
um, I don't know if I'll be able to get to see this movie, but I definitely want to see it.
Heck yeah, very excited. I'm hoping to see it because people, like just like No Way Home, they like to spoil stuff. So I'm gonna see if I can try to find a time on Friday or something like that, to see it. Because I am off Friday night, but we'll see. We'll see if I get to see it. But I do want to see it. I can't wait. I love Batman. I'm hyped for this movie. We talked about it on Sunday. Uh, Patterson and Zoe Kravitz and all of them. So I can't freaking wait. So guys, till next week, you know what I'm saying? Have a fantastic week. Read your comics, watch your movies, watch Battlestar Galactica, Peacock, guys. Let's go. It's free. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Episodes 11, 12, and 13 next week. Until next time, guys. Station. Peace out. Yeah.